All right, we're going to get started in 2 minutes as soon as I get word that we can be seen and heard.
Okay.
All right, we're going live in 1 minute.
All right, let's get it.
If you can see and hear me, just type in the comment box so I can make sure that I can be heard. And we're going to get started in just 1 minute. Dre, you know I can't see you, right? Dre? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good. All right, cool. All right, it's time. We are going to get started. Thank you for joining us live. My name is Aisha Floyd, and welcome to another episode of Unleash Your Greatness Conversation series. This week, I do have a very, very special guest with me. But before I get started, I do want to introduce myself to you in case this is your first time watching one of my webinars. My name is Aisha Floyd. I'm creator and founder of Success Blueprints Digital Marketing, where we teach entrepreneurs how to position themselves online for business success. I am also the founder of the Women at Home Business Network. And in this episode, our topic is 5 keys to unlock your online income. This episode is going to be a really good episode, so you definitely want to get a pen and you want to get a notepad and take some notes. We're going to share some really good stuff with you, really some good substance with you to sort of streamline or make very simple how to get things going for you online. My special guest today is a gentleman that I met here in Atlanta about a little over a year ago at a training here, and he was actually speaking at the event, and his name is Mr. Aundrae Gaskins. I'm going to allow him to introduce himself in just a moment, but one of the things that intrigued me about him when I met him and he was giving his presentation is that he mentioned, well, number one, he was full of passion. He loved what he did in the online marketing industry business. He loved what he did. But one of the things that struck me is he spoke about evolution and how blessed we are to live in the day and age that we do right now, and how many opportunities that we have to be ourselves and present our value to the world in a way that can help other people. So I have him here with me today, and I'm happy to share him with you. And right now, I want to give him the opportunity to share with you who he is. So Dre, I am going to turn it over to you and give you the opportunity to tell everyone about yourself.
Excellent. Aisha, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you fine.
Perfect. So just want to say hey to you guys first and foremost. Thank you for having me. Aisha, is definitely a pleasure. Like you said, we met about a year ago. Things have really taken off, since then. But just to share a little bit of my story, intentional type guy, right? So I don't really start off with anything scripted. It's all like from my heart and from my head and from experience. So I'm the creator and founder of Gaskins Global Media. That is a media company for home business entrepreneurs. I also am the face behind CoachDre.com. And I also lead a group that I'm launching today.
Dre, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now.
You're coming in just a little muffled at times. You may
Okay.
need to not move so much. I know you got like a lot of
Oh,
passion,
I
but
move
like
all
maybe
the
not so much
time.
because I think it's interfering with the mic on your cord. Okay.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Is it, you think it'd be better if I take my headphones out or no?
If you will still be able to hear me, yeah, you could take them out. Can you still hear me without
All right,
them?
we'll try it in a second.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, we'll try it in a second. And I also lead the Limitless Entrepreneur Success Academy, or Success Society, I'm sorry, which I'm launching today on my birthday. It's a Facebook group to really help people do what I think is the most important thing in business, and that's commit to mastery, commit to mastering the things that they need to master in order to grow their business. We get inundated with all these things on the internet, especially with digital entrepreneurs, especially entrepreneurs that want to grow their business on the web. So I think it is very important to be able to offer that to entrepreneurs, to be able to help them systematically grow their business and commit to mastery. Just not too long ago, just to share a little bit of my story. I'm 31 now. I started business when I was 18. I was that kid that used to sell like Jolly Rancher lollipop at school. Anything I could sell, anything I could get my hands on, I would sell it. I went to the military, and then shortly after the military, I got out, went to college at Florida A&M University in Tallahassee. And I, right before graduation, decided that I was going to have 2 children. So I have two 4-year-olds, well, not two 4-year-olds, but I have 2 4-year-olds, a boy and a girl, Armand and Peyton, and they're the love of my life. And I found myself in a really, really tough situation. I had lost all the income I had gained from multi-level marketing. I owned a club promotion company at the time in Tallahassee, and all those things, almost like one after another, just started to dwindle down, just started to go away. And I found myself with 2 kids at a young age, homeless, no money, and didn't know how I was going to actually pick up the pieces and get myself together. And I stumbled upon online marketing and struggled for quite some time. And finally, I figured out the exact things that we're going to share with you today. But the biggest thing that I figured out is the strength that I have within me. And what I want to point out to you is, no matter where you are, if you're watching this, if you're hearing my voice, if you're looking at my face, if you're looking at Aisha's face, you have strength within you to get over whatever obstacle you currently have. We're going to help you with the mindset stuff briefly today, and then we're going to help you really build a platform to be able to take your business to the next level. So I'm super excited. So that's my story.
Thank you, Dre. Thank you very, very much. So what I want to do right now is, first of all, let me say happy birthday to you. And thank you for taking an hour out of your day to actually spend with me. I do feel honored. Thank you very much, Dre. Happy birthday. Can you hear me? I don't even know if you can hear me right now. All right, so what we're going to do right now, we are going to get into the content of this training. We are going to, all right. If the video is gone, I just got a message that you can hear me, but the video is gone. Refresh your screen if you cannot see any of your video and you can hear me. Put a note to refresh your screen. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the content that we want to share with you guys today. We're going to share with you 5 keys to unlock your online income. Awesome, you can see me great. All right, so we're going to get started with the first key. Now, before we get into this, I do want to put out a little disclaimer out there. There are several ways to make money online. Today, we are talking to people who want to be in business or who are in business online, and things may not be going the way that you plan for them to go, or you want to be in business online and you don't know where to begin. These are people who want to have a business where they are being themselves and they are bringing forth whatever their unique gifts are into the world. These are the people that we're talking to. People who want to be in business for themselves and also be themselves and also bring their unique gifts to the global platform that we know as the internet. Okay, so these are people who don't mind being visible and people who actually want to bring value to other people themselves. Okay, so that's who we're talking to today, and that's the type of income that we're talking about. People who want to be in business, people who want to be visible in business, and people who want to bring their own unique value into the digital marketplace, all right? So I just wanted to get clear on that, who we're talking to and what we're gonna be talking about today. So again, we're gonna share with you 5 keys to unlock your online income, and these are going to be some pretty good information for you to know. So again, you want to have a notepad, and you also want to have a pen with you to jot down these 5 keys. Now I'm ready to jump into the very first key. And Dre, can you hear me? Can you hear me good? I can't hear him. So what I'm going to do, the first key, I'm just going to share it with you. The first key is called expertise. You have to have some type of expertise in order to have the online business that we're talking about. Again, there are some other backdoor ways to make money online, but we're talking about people who want to be in business for themselves and people who want to bring their own unique value into the marketplace. So the first thing that you need to have is some type of expertise. And that means there's something that you're very good at, something that you have a wealth of knowledge about, something that you've probably been involved in for 2 to 3 or more years in your life that you can clearly provide as a solution to someone else's problem. So to me, being an expert has a lot to do with experience, things that you've experienced and something that you can bring forth to solve a problem for someone else. And I'm just going to do another quick check right now. Dre, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I cannot hear you, which means your sound is not working. So I'm going to keep going, and you just signal me or type in the chat box when you can talk and hear me. So I'm going to keep going with this. So expertise, you have experience in some type of field, you have some type of authority that you can share with other people to help solve a problem that they may be having. And the key word in being an expert is experience. And I want to make very, very clear that being an expert is not the same as someone who makes money doing something. I was actually speaking with someone the other day, and she said, well, isn't an expert someone who makes money doing something? And I said, no, an expert is someone who has experience in something, they know something very well, and they're able to help someone solve a problem. Making money is a whole different type of skill. You can be an expert at picking cotton and not know anything about how to make money from it. You can be an expert at housekeeping and not know how to make money from it. So being an expert in something and knowing how to make money from it are 2 separate things. I just want to be clear about that and put that out there. I don't want anyone to assume that just because you're making money doing something, it means you're an expert, or just because you're an expert at something means you know how to make money from it, okay? So the very first thing that you're gonna need in order to unlock your online income is some expertise in some type of field or area where you can actually solve a problem for someone else. For some of you, you've had an expertise your entire life, and you've never made the move to teach it to someone else or to bring that value. If you have an expertise in anything, whether it's something you've been knowing from childhood or something you've acquired 2 to 3 years ago, or something that you've had a strong interest in and you've made moves invested in yourself to actually learn it and to actually master it, then you are an expert, my dear, and you are in position to be able to lay a solid foundation to build an online business. So at this point, I'm going to throw it to you, Dre. It sounds like you can hear me now.
I can. Can you hear me?
Awesome. Yes. I'm going to let you, I did most of the part that you were supposed to be doing, but I'm going to let you say a few comments about expertise and what that means to you and how important that is to someone unlocking their online income.
That's
All right?
excellent. And everything you said, I was hearing you the entire time. I don't know why you couldn't hear me, but that was excellent. Everything you said is not just about, and this is the way I look at it, and this is how I teach it to my students. Expertise, it really a little bit different from what you said. It's not necessarily about time as much as it is about results, and then being results. And a lot of times we don't give ourselves credit for the expertise that we actually have. Expertise is really having a problem that you face, solving that problem, and then being aware of your solution to that problem so then you can teach that problem. Like you said, a lot of people can make money online but don't know how to teach how to make money online. A lot of people can pick cotton but don't know how to actually make money from picking. It's all about what you can do, what you possess, what the knowledge that you have of a problem that you have had or someone you know has had, the solution that you helped them create or the solution that you created for yourself, and then giving yourself the opportunity to actually package. So I want to give you, I love to give steps. I love to actually say something, teach something, and then give you apply into your business. So grab your pen, grab your paper, and I want you to think about, open your mind and give yourself the opportunity to pat yourself on the back. Really quick, and I know that sounds crazy, but give yourself the opportunity to pat yourself on the back. And what I mean is, I want you to think really hard about you face. It could be overcoming the fear of public speaking. It could be overcoming financial obstacle you had in your life. It could be helping your kids, having a strategy to help your kids with their homework. Just think about the things that you have faced. Give yourself the credit for the fact that you solved that problem, and write that down. So I want you to think of three problems that you have solved in your own life. Three problems that you have solved in your own life, the results of those problems, which one you like best, and start with that. Start with that. When I first started in business, I didn't start teaching people how to make money online. I started teaching people how to grow teams in multi-level marketing, because that's what I was good at. And then I moved from that to teaching people how to speak in public. Because I'm from a family full of preachers, I learned how to speak in public at a really young age. So then I taught people whatever problems you have that you solve, you can then teach somebody how to solve that same problem for a profit.
Awesome.
And it's just that simple.
Thank you, Dre. Thank you. And at this point, we're only going to be on here for, we only have an hour window, but I want to make sure we get to all of the keys and make sure we both share with you some content related to each key. So the first key is expertise. And again, it could be something that you are already passionate about, you already know backwards and forward. If you have any type of expertise in your life, i.e. experience related to something that you can teach with authority, you are in a great position to have an online business and to unlock your online income, because you are in a position to solve a problem for someone else, that Absolutely. Something that you're already an expert at. All right, so key number two to unlock your online income is content. You have to have content related to your expertise. This is very important in the online world because your content is proof of your expertise. We live, yeah. You want to say something? Go ahead, Dre. Go ahead.
No, I'm just agreeing with you.
All right. So content. We live in the digital age. There's information everywhere. And we have been a part of the information age for a long time. We are easing out of the information age. and are moving into something called the collaboration age, because we've been so inundated with information that we have all the information we need, and we're at a space and time where we have to implement that, and we have to collaborate with other people to bring forth fruition of all the information that we know and that we have. And speaking of that, Dre, you just did a training with a gentleman by the name of Myron Golden. I think you all were down in Florida or something.
Yes, we were in Tampa.
All right, I was actually on a call with him, I think 2 nights ago, and he spoke about these different periods in history and how every period is getting shorter and shorter and shorter in time. And we've been in this huge information age for like the past 8-10 years, and we're easing into this age where people realize, you know, we can have all the information in the world, but if we never take action and never implement it and never collaborate with other people, then the information is useless. And we're actually in an age now called the collaboration age. So content is very, very important to your expertise. We are in a marketplace where you have to use education-based marketing in order to make people aware that they even need your solution that you offer, and to let them know that you can actually solve a problem that we have, because it's only a very, very small percentage of people looking for what it is that you offer. And then there's another larger population who actually need what you offer, but they don't even know it. So we have to have excellent content in the marketplace, and there are different mediums that we can share content. We can do it through video, audio, written. When you're starting out, you need to come in the game with content related to your expertise. Again, it is proof of your expertise, and it is that thing that allows you to attract the people that you're actually here and are meant to serve and meant to work with. So you want to come in the game with content. You don't want to get in and then try to gather content. You actually want to come in with content. So content is the second key to unlocking your online income, and it needs to be content related to your expertise. All right, I'll throw it over to you, Dre.
I love it. So one thing you got to understand, Aisha is outstanding when it comes to content. I love reading her blog posts. Very few people do I read their emails when they send them to me. I read all of her emails. But let me tell you one key that Aisha has affected. And anytime you see her teaching it, you definitely want to tune in. She knows how. See, content by itself is not what's powerful. It's having content, it's having content that actually reaches and speaks to your audience. And Aisha knows exactly who her audience is. Aisha knows exactly the language they speak, and she knows how to attract their attention. So yes, content is very, very, very important. Yes, you do want to come in the game with content, but you first want to understand who are the people that I'm trying to attract.
Great point.
Are they former business owners? Mm-hmm. Are they parents? Are they women looking to lose weight? Are they men looking to lose weight? What type of income do they have? You want to know, you want to gather as much information about the person that you're going to be speaking with as humanly possible, because your content needs to sound like a conversation. Your content needs to sound as if you're sitting right in that room with them, sharing with them the information. So when you're developing your content, you want to know the group of people you're speaking to, but when you get ready to write or create that video or whatever the case may be, almost like you see one-on-one kind of right now, you want to be talking to just one specific person that you know wants what you have to offer, and you want to speak their language. You want to know their pain points. You want to know what their ideal outcome is. You want to be very clear on who exactly you're speaking to, because if you can have that conversation with them, then you start to become their friend. And when you give them an offer, their credit card out and buy, because they trust you, they know you, they like you, and they believe in you, and they know you have the solution to their problems. So it is important to have content, but it's very important to know who your content is for and word and create that content in a way that it resonates with them on every single level.
That's right. That's right. Thank you, Dre. Those were excellent points. You definitely want to have a specific audience, and you want to talk to them directly in your content. And again, you want that content to be relevant to your expertise. All right. So key number 3 to unlocking your online income is foundation. You have to have a solid foundation. Now, let me tell you exactly what that means. I am talking about a below ground level infrastructure foundation for your business. Now, in the digital world, online world, it's filled with optics. It's filled with a lot of visual stuff, but you have to have the proper infrastructure in place in order to sustain your business and in order to sustain that communication that Dre was just talking about with your quote unquote target audience or specific audience. So what exactly is an infrastructure? An infrastructure, a digital infrastructure, is it's a system comprised of different components that are linked together that allow you to attract, allows you to communicate with your specific audience. It allows you to service your specific audience. It allows you to follow up with your specific audience, and it's an entire system that enables you to attract, serve, and to follow up with the people that you are on there to serve. For example, in my book that I wrote, Wealth Through Automation, your step-by-step guide to creating a lucrative and life-changing online business, I spoke about 13 essential components to having an online business. And mostly all of those components had to do with what you don't see when you're on social media or when you go to someone's website. It has a lot to do with what happens after you click or when you show that you're interested in something. Are you delivering what you promised? Are you following up with those people who are interested? Are you giving them a series of engagements and interactions to hold their attention? Are you communicating on a regular basis? A lot of those things have to do with the digital infrastructure that you have in place once someone shows interest. And it even goes so far as to attract people to you. You have to have a certain infrastructure in place, and that's called your foundation. And you also want to make sure that you own your foundation. One thing about social media and the people who follow you on social media, those are contacts that you don't own. So you have to be systematic about you attract people into your digital infrastructure so that you can own your list, own your contacts, and communicate with them in ways that you're unable to communicate with on social media. I think some people make the mistake of thinking that having an online business is strictly just about social media, and it's not. That's just one aspect of several aspects of actually having an online business and actually serving leads, prospects, and clientele. So you want to have a digital infrastructure in place, and that is what I help you create when you work with me. And again, those are the 13 keys or essential components that I share with you in my book, Wealth Through Automation, that is available on Amazon right now. So third key is foundation. You want to have a solid digital infrastructure, and you want to have a solid foundation that you own, not one that's owned by someone else. All these social media platforms out here are owned by other people. And if they were to shut the doors tomorrow, go out of business tomorrow, you will not have access to the people who are interested in you, your mission, your message, or your product, because you did not have the systems in place to own their contact information, and also systems in place to communicate with them. Okay, so that's what I have to say about key number 3, which is foundation. You have to have a solid foundation that's going to sustain you throughout your business, and it goes far, far deeper than just having a social media presence. Okay?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can't get any better than that. You can't get any better than that. I mean, here's the truth. You would never spend all your money to build a house on just the ground, on just the sand. The you do is you pour a strong concrete foundation, because if you build your house on just sand, your house will eventually sink. And the truth is, in business, especially in the digital business and in the digital world, a lot of businesses are sinking because entrepreneurs are getting, tossed the information about how to grow leads on Facebook, how to grow leads on Instagram, how to, build SEO, how to in Google. And yes, that that does matter, but really about 90% of the effect you have on your audience is going to be because of the foundation that you build. And to help you kind of paint that picture, I want you to think of a relationship. I'm pretty sure all of us on here right now have had a relationship, failure or successful. We've had a relationship, one or two.
Mm-hmm.
When you're building a relationship, you, number one, want to be the same all the time, and it's difficult to be the same all the time. But I'm saying that to say, in your foundation, you want to be the same all the time, which means if you have a website that you own, if you have a website and you're telling people that you help them make money through video marketing, then when they go to Facebook and they see your Facebook page, it needs to say the same thing. When they hear from you in your email, it needs to say the same thing. If you say you're about building relationships, but you don't follow up to your email list, but maybe once a month, that's not consistent with what your actual message is. So you want to have consistency in your foundation. You want to have ownership of your foundation, like Aisha said. So that means owning your website, having your website hosted. That means owning your own list that you can reach out to on a regular basis. That means at some point owning products that you offer, owning your information, owning a book that you have. You want to constantly be building that foundation by setting up different distribution channels, and all those distribution channels lead back to the thing that which is your website, which is a capture page in order to get information that you're offering to them and then be able to follow up with them on a regular basis. So the number one thing I want you to think about when it comes to foundation is ownership, and consistency. Own your website, own your list, and then be consistent with the way that you follow up and how you offer products and how you distribute your information.
Thank you, Dre. Thank you. Those are excellent, excellent points. One more thing I want to share with you about foundation is the understanding that when you step out to develop your foundation, you have two ways of doing it. Either you have the money to have someone else build the foundation for you, or you are going to build your own foundation. When you do it, I want it to be clearly understood that it is a process. Again, unless you have the money and you're paying a team to do it for you, it can happen overnight. Otherwise, if you're like, I would say the majority of people who are in business online and have actually generated revenue online, it's going to be a process. And I don't know if you've ever logged onto a webinar and you're learning something from an expert. There's like this universal template where they show you or they're explaining to you what a hard time they had before they quote unquote made it. One thing that I want you to know, during that hard time that expert is explaining to you how they got to where they are, that was their building process. Yeah. And it took a lot of them a long time to get to where they are because they laid their foundation brick by brick by brick. And they got there. They went through the process. So I want you all to understand that it is a process. And that hard time that you hear a lot of experts talk about was their building process. They were going through it, but they were also building their foundation. They weren't sitting on the sidelines watching everybody else. They weren't waiting to invest in themselves. They were actually building in the process, doing whatever they had to do, rolling up their sleeves, having the sleepless nights, doing what they wanted because they had a vision they knew would carry them through the process. So I just want to really get that point out there that the foundation is it is a lot like building a house. You got to do it one piece at a time. And again, that's what I'm here for. That's what I help people with. I support you through the process. I show you how to do the process, and I'm with you through that process. So I want that to be clear. Again, unless you're coming in with a bunch of money to pay a team to do it for you, that's the only way it's going to happen overnight. But again, if you're like the majority of a lot of the experts I know out here, they went through a process, and during that hard time that they tell you about on their webinars, that was their building process. So if you're going through a stage in life that you might consider difficult, but you still have in the back of your mind that you want to have this online business, you want to do it, you just scared, you hadn't stepped out and started investing in yourself, you have to start the process and keep the vision that you have for yourself as the forefront to pulling you through the process.
Oh,
they went through it, but they were building at the same time. Clear, they were building. A lot of people get onto these webinars and they think that when they do what the person tells them to do, they're going to get the same results. No, you got to go through a process.
Right.
They didn't get those results overnight.
All right.
Now your process may be shortened because you got some shortcuts now, but you got to go through the process.
Amen.
And that's where a lot of people, Aundrae, they get heartbroken thinking, if I do what this person told me, I'm going to get those same exact results. No, they've been building for a minute, and you got to start building, and you got to be okay with doing the work behind the scenes. A lot of people get caught up in the celebrity of having an online business. That's probably the last piece to the puzzle.
Right. And really quick, I can't even let it slide. I'm not going to take too long, but I can't let it slide because you just spoke on the biggest point of business is the fact that I don't care whether you're on a sales page or a webinar, look, the process, once you get familiar with the process and you get through the process, we make it sound easy. We make it sound like it's just like this is all you have to do. But even if you have money, the biggest process and the biggest part of your foundation is the mental foundation that you start to build as you build a business. No day, I don't care how much money you make, guys, no day is going to be easy. I called Aisha this morning and I said, Aisha, you laughing this morning? She said, what? I said, well, my computer crashed at 6:30. I went and borrowed my friend's computer really quickly. I got back downstairs to log in and to log into the computer. And about an hour and a half later, at around like 9 or something, my internet went out. The power went out and the internet went out at my house. I am at the library right now talking to you guys because that's part of the process. Something is going to happen every day. You have to get through it. You have to press on. And how you press on is to build the mental capacity to know and expect that something is going to happen. There are going to be hard times at every turn because entrepreneurship is not easy by no stretch of the imagination.
Well, Dre, I got to interrupt. It's not all gloom and doom now. Come on.
It's not. But see, this is the thing. This is the part that I feel people aren't honest with entrepreneurs. No, it's not all doom and gloom, but it's hard as hell because you have
Let me say this. It's hard if you don't understand a lot of stuff. Like some of the stuff you try to come in the game and you don't have an expertise, it's going to be hard.
Right.
You try to come in the game and you haven't developed your voice yet. You don't know how to create content on the drop of a dime. It's going to be hard.
It's going to be hard. Exactly. But what I'm saying, exactly, everything that you have struggled with, and I had to build that. That's just what I do. I like to make things sound like almost impossible and then give you the but. Because even in the Bible, when God paints a picture of doom and gloom, he says but. Because but means there's more. And the more is whatever it is that you're having a hard time with, you can either learn, or if you have the resources, you can find somebody that can teach you, or you can find somebody that can do it. Yes, it is hard, but understand that every hard point is a learning point, and you can get past it. And just to say, once you get past it, here's the great part, Aisha. This is what makes me excited. Once you get past it, you now have another level of expertise that you can now teach. So your problems actually grow your profits because you're learning, you're overcoming, and then you can teach that to someone else.
Okay. Okay. I can see that. But you know, I'm a big component of staying in your lane. You know what I'm saying? Whatever we decide is our expertise, I definitely am a component of us staying in our lane, developing partnerships with other people who are experts at the other stuff. So okay, I hear you, Dre. I hear you.
I had to bring that full circle.
Fun, it's a lot of freedom, and it's a great experience too. So
it really is. It really is.
I had to balance that out.
Once you overcome those obstacles, like that's what makes it fun. It's like you have to be in competition with yourself every single day, and that's what makes it exciting. I mean, you know, I wouldn't otherwise have run into Aisha if it wasn't like, just think about it. I wouldn't have run into Aisha if it wasn't for the problems I had earlier. You know what I'm saying? You may not have met me in Atlanta if it wasn't for the problems that you have earlier. Guys, every face is a stepping stone, and you just simply have to get past it, learn from it, and keep on going.
Yeah. And surround yourself with people who have common goals and interests as you. That was another thing I wanted to say when you're in the foundational, the developmental process. So you gotta want it, and you can definitely have it. And that's what we're here for. We're here to share this stuff, to debunk some of the myths out there, and to really tell you what it's gonna take to unlock that online income. All right. So let's move on to key number 4. Key number 4 in the 5 keys to unlock your online income. Key number 4 is systems. You have to have systems in order to unlock your online income. Now, a system is a procedure to get a specific result. And I have a favorite quote. One of my mentors, he says, what does he say? A system is doing a particular action repeatedly to produce the same result each time. And I'm not quoting him correctly, but it's a certain action that you do on a repetitive basis that produces the same result each and every time. Now, I like to use the analogy of a body, the human body. We have a lot of different systems in our bodies, but they all work together to produce a functional human being, all right? And having a business, an online business, is a lot like that. You have to have systems. You have to be very clear on what they are and how they operate in order to have a functional system that will allow you to unlock your online income. When it comes to an online business, there are specific systems that you need to have in place. And grab your pen if you already don't have it in your hand. I'm going to run down a list of some systems that you need to have in place. Now, with any business, you need to have a daily operating system. What do you do every day to produce a specific result in your business? You need to have a weekly operating system. What do you do every week to produce a specific result in your business? Now, when it comes to having an online business, there are some key systems that you need to have in place to produce specific results. One of the first systems you need to have is a lead system. This is the system that allows you to attract the people to you that you are meant to serve. And not just the people you're meant to serve, the people you're meant to collaborate with. A lot of times, other colleagues will see you doing certain things and say, you know what, I want to work with him or her, or I want to collaborate with him or her on a project, or I want him or her to speak at my event. a lot of times you're focused on getting clients and customers, and other people will see you and produce other streams of income, or help you produce other streams of income in your expertise. So you want to have a lead system. That is a system that allows you to attract the people that you're meant to serve, and those people who can benefit from the problem that you solve. Okay. One of the second systems you want to have is a prospecting system. This is a system that allows the people who have gone beyond just being interested. They've actually taken an action that you've given them. You've given them some type of call to action, and they've actually taken it. They've actually done it. They've proven with their action that they are ready to move forward with you. So you have to have a system for them. So you have a system, the lead system, that attracts people to you. You have your prospecting system. These are people who actually have taken action. They've actually complied with some call to action that you gave them. You want to be able to serve them within a system. All right. One of the third systems that you actually need, you need to have things called event systems. For example, when you want to make time to share some important information to people, or to educate people about why they need a particular product that you're going to service them, you need a system to invite people. You need a system to remind people. You need a system to actually give them the information. You need a system to follow up. It's all a system. Another system you need a purchasing system. How are people going to give you their money? Are you in a position to even receive money? You need to have a digital system in place in order to do that. Another system that you need is a delivery system. How are you going to deliver the promise that you made to this person? Do you have a system in place to do that? So I think you kind of get the idea now of why systems are so important. Don't laugh at me. You kind of get the idea of why systems are so important. And then once you have that client and you're delivering what you've promised them using that system, do you have a system to follow up with them? Do you have a system to check in with them? Do you have a system to make them a repeat customer? You need to have systems. All right, turn it over to you, Dre.
Aisha, you're on it. You're always on it. Even when I heard you talk, the person with the strongest system, and I'm writing a book right now called The Fortune 500 Entrepreneur. And one of the things I talk about is systems, because systems, SYSTM, saves you stress, time, energy, and money. That's what a system is. A system allows you to know what you need to do, and it's almost like muscle memory. You don't think about, when you wake up in the morning, you instantly go to the bathroom and brush your teeth. Mm-hmm. You instantly put on your clothes the way you put on your clothes, and put your shoes either, both at one time before you time, or one and then time. But everything you do, everything we do from day to day is a system. And how we get through it is a system. When that system is interrupted, we're using. So the person with the strongest system and the strongest knowledge of their system always wins. Look at McDonald's. A lot of people have copied McDonald's system. However, McDonald's sells hamburgers all day, every day. Sells fries all day, every day. Because not only, two things happen when you create a strong system. Like you said, your payment system, your follow-up system, your process. Also add your morning success system, which is what you go through to build your mental mind every day for your business. But two things happen when you build a system. Not only does it take stress off of you, but when people start to see how your system works, they start to depend on your system, and that builds the relationship. That's why McDonald's is so successful, because people depend on the McDonald's. When you pull up, you order the French fries and that Big Mac, and then you pull around the corner, it's going to be a minute and a half, and you'll have your food and you can go home. Mm-hmm. We've learned to depend on the system, and that's strong. So he who creates the strongest, most dependable system in business wins. So everything you said, Aisha, was spot on. Everything.
Thank you for adding to it, Dre. Those are some excellent points you just gave. So definitely that relationship maintenance system is really, really important. And I'm gonna just say one last key about this one before we move on to key number 5. In your systems, especially when you're in your building phase, when you're in that foundational phase, you want to be sure to communicate on a regular basis. Some people drop the ball, or at least I see a lot of people drop the ball when it comes to that. You want to make sure, just like Dre said, you're building the relationships. Because at the end of the day, it is a lot about relationships. There are a lot of people who do a lot of the same things, but the thing that separates you from somebody else is who you are, your backstory, why you do what you do, and the engagement or the relationship that you've built with someone who, again, is interested in you, your mission, your message, and your products and services. So you want to stay in communication. And I'm going to say this again, not just via social media. You want to, you do want to use email marketing. It's intimate. It's a way to be intimate with people on a consistent basis. You want to get out there. You want to meet people face to face. You want to shake hands. You want to give hugs. And you want to pick up the phone too. So
Yes.
relationship maintenance systems are very important. And thank you. Thank you for bringing that up, Trey. All right. So you
Oh,
ready for
and
key
one
number 5?
last thing, real quick, Aisha. One last thing. I think it's important for us to explain really, really fast that as you grow, and even when you're starting out in your building phase, it's okay to tweak them. It's almost necessary sometimes to tweak the system. But the system is what you should expect a certain result from the system, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you don't get a certain result, you don't have to always go back to the drawing board.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just have to tweak something in the system to get the ultimate result. And that's another beauty of having a system, because then you don't have to wipe everything out and start with a clean slate every time. You can just tweak, you see what result you get at the end.
You know what? That's another good point. And just be honest, be yourself. Wherever you are in your phase, let your audience be transparent. A lot of times that strengthens the relationship.
Yes, it does.
Don't wait until you're ready to sell something before you start communicating. Just communicate where you are, what's going on with you, so that you can increase that thing called your know, like, and trust factor. Please don't wait until you're just ready to sell before you take certain actions. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Be you. Honor where you are and be okay with it, but still communicate, still build. All right. You want to make things easy for yourself. So I'll leave that at that.
Point.
Let's get
Great point, Aisha. Great point.
Right. Let's get into key number 5. On the 5 keys to unlock your online income. Before I get into number 5, I'm gonna do a really, really quick recap. I want to make sure you got key number 1. Key number 1 is expertise. You have to have some type of expertise in order to unlock your online income. You have to know something very, very well, something that solves a problem for someone else, and something that you are going to enjoy bringing to someone else in order to solve a specific problem for them. You need to have some content that is a lot of times proof of your expertise, and you need to have content relevant to that, and you need to be okay with sharing it on a consistent and regular basis to educate other people about why it is that they need your product or your service. Third key is a foundation. You want to have a solid digital foundation, digital infrastructure. You want to have ownership. And so again, there are a lot of key components to developing that foundation. Is a lot like building a house, and you want to make sure that you take the time to educate yourself, learn about the different components you're going to need through the foundation. One excellent resource is my book, my Amazon bestselling book, Wealth Through Automation, your step-by-step guide to creating a life-changing, lucrative online business. Educate yourself about that. If you don't have the resources to hire a team to do it for you, it's something you can definitely do on your own in order to get to that place. So don't ever think you have to sit on the sideline and wait, or you can't be a part of it. You definitely can. You just have to make moves to do that. Start creating your process. Start building that foundation that you're going to need to sustain your online business. All right, systems. Key number 4 is systems. You are going to need a number of systems in order to unlock your online income, and also understand that it is a process. Again, unless you're coming in with the resources to have a team to do a lot of things for you, you're going to have to go through the process. And, you know, Dre talked about how difficult it can be, but it's also a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. All right. So let's get into key number 5. Key number 5 of the 5 keys to unlock your online income. Key number 5 is automation. That is the beauty of having technology and doing business online. It's all about automation. There's no way in the world that you can do a lot of stuff that we just talked about manually. It's only 24 hours in a day. There are, 5.4 billion people online, Dre?
Right.
I mean, this is a global, you're in a global marketplace. So you have to take advantage of something that we call automation in order to unlock your online income. So a lot of the systems that we just talked about in key number 4 are systems that must be automated. In order for you to have a functional system. You can try to do it manually, and you will find out very, very quickly that it's not humanly possible. So automation is key number 5. Again, all the systems I spoke about, your lead system, your prospecting system, your event system, your purchasing system, your delivery system, your follow-up system, your relationship maintenance systems, all of those can be automated and should be automated. Again, if you're a solopreneur, I would love to work with you and show you how to do that. That's what I do. All right. So automation is key number 5, and you have to have it in order to unlock your online income. And Dre, I am going to turn automation over to you at this point. It's so important. Automation is so key to what we're talking about right now that it's probably the most important key. But I'm going to let you say what you have to say about automation.
Yeah, and the biggest thing, this is my shameless plug for Aisha again, because I know what she's good at. I paid a lot of attention to her. I study her constantly. And it's something that she has under lock and key. If you're struggling with automation or you don't understand automation, Aisha Floyd is the person that you do not pass go, do not collect $200, get with Aisha and find out how you can automate. Because look, once you have it running, once you have it working the way you want it to work, you would be foolish not to then sit in your place and let it run on its own, because you can't be up. You can't be up when China is up. You can't be up when Bangladesh is up. You can't be up when India is up. But the internet can, and you can get paid while you're sleeping. And that's the beauty of what we do. So ultra important. Ultra important. Once you have your system running, once you have it up and going the way you need to, every system that Aisha explained is important, but what is most important once you have it up and running is finding a way to the best way for you to automate that and get that to the point where you can make what I like to call in your sleep money. Because once you start impacting people in your sleep, once people are sitting there, I just want you to imagine people looking at your message, people hearing your voice, people that are up at night. You're sleeping, guys, up at night, stressing about how they're going to solve a problem. And then they come across you on the internet when you're asleep and they're millions of miles away and they're crying tears because finally they have a solution to their problem. They're ready to join you. You wake up in the morning with emails in your inbox of someone that just saw you, and 10 minutes of a video changed their life, shifted their paradigm, and changed their perspective. Or in your bed, but they're ready to work with you, all because you found you develop your expertise. You built the strong foundation, you built the proper system, and then you automated it. And now you're impacting people in a magnificent way while you're resting in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
That's so powerful, guys.
It is.
And once you get it all straight and you start to automate it, oyster. The world is truly your oyster.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That you
I'm done.
absolutely right, Dre. It's almost fun. It's almost like a phenomenon, really, when you really
It
really
is.
think about it and
It's amazing.
understand the magnitude of what's really happening. And the funny thing is that a lot of people probably already participate in other people's systems, not realizing that they're being systematized.
Right.
Yeah. So
Ooh,
the whole point
I don't, can
is,
you run that back and say that again so everyone can write that down, because that's big. That's big.
well, what I just said was everything that we're talking about is, it, to me, in a lot of ways, is somewhat of a phenomenon, but people do it. Corporations do it every day.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not building your own system, you are definitely being systematized. What we talked about today is already happening around us. And it's very likely you're already in somebody else's system. You just may not realize it. But if you really think about a lot of the keys that we talked about today, either you're developing systems, you're creating systems, or you're being systematized by someone else's process, someone else's system. And at some point, you want to be a business owner, you want to be an online business owner, you have to understand and develop digital systems. Okay?
Yeah.
Again, two ways to do it. You have someone build it out for you, or you need to learn how to build it out for yourself. Technology is changing very rapidly. We're no longer in a field where mystery is all around it. Okay, we're in a world now where if you want to learn how to do something, you can do it, but that's not the point. The point is, do you have support along the way? Do you have accountability along the way? Do you have the human resources that you need to actually make happen what it is you want to make happen? That is the whole point of relationship. Okay, none of what we talked about can be done by yourself. Amen. None of it. All right, so automation is the fifth key to unlocking your online income. And just like with anything else, there are certain levels to things. All right, you can automate something as simple as something you want to give away. Say you have a digital product, you want to give it away. You can automate that. Automate an email sequence that shares with that person, that welcomes them, that thanks them for getting your digital product. And you can automate 5 other emails that introduce them to who you are, that tells them about some of your what you have going on, what do you have coming up, as far as your content, education-based. You share things with them, and then you can introduce them to your other products. Something as simple as that can be automated. That's something that you don't have to do and talk about to every single person that you come in contact with. You can give value to someone, and you can automate the process of starting that relationship. So again, there are different layers. It can go deeper, it can go wider. There are amazing levels to this world of technology and automation. But I don't want you to be so intimidated that you don't start the process, that you don't make efforts to really understand the process. So that's, again, why I'm here. This is why we're doing this webinar. You have to get started. You just do, period. And it can be very, very simple. And one of the things I love to do is to make things simple before you can really understand the complexity of things. Start on a very basic level and just understand you got to have these 5 keys in order to position yourself to make money or to generate income online in a way that allows you to be who you are authentically and to share the gifts that you have with the global marketplace, which is, again, the biggest marketplace you'll ever find, because you have the whole entire world. But expertise, gotta have it. That's number 1. Number 2, content, gotta have it. You gotta be able to educate people about what your expertise is. Number 3 was, what was our third key? Foundation. You gotta have a solid foundation, infrastructure that you own. You're not depending on other platforms to carry you, but you actually have systems in place that you own and can control. All right. The fourth key, systems. There are different systems you have to have. I like to use the body as an analogy. We have a lot of different bodily systems that all work together to produce a healthy human being. And that's very similar to how your online business is going to run. You have to have a number of systems in place, and they all create this business that allows you to unlock your online income. And the last thing you need to have is automation. You want to automate those systems. That's the whole point of doing business online, and that's one of the joys of embracing the technology that we have at our use, that we can actually use. It all boils down to automation, being able to serve several people at one time that you could not otherwise humanly. You can't do on it. You just can't do it. As a human, it's impossible for you to be able to touch as many people one-on-one as you can if you have an automated system. All right, so Dre, I'm going to turn it over to you for some last and final comments. We've been going for an hour, so I'm gonna give it to you and let you say a few words.
The last thing I have for you guys is just simply, Les Brown says it's the start of people, and Aisha just said just get started. And my last words to you is don't let the start stop you. The start stops so many would-be successful entrepreneurs. I already know it's not you because you're here and you're taking in this information, but don't allow yourself to think that it's overwhelming, because it's not overwhelming. Overwhelm doesn't really even exist. It's simply something that we've created, but in reality, all it is us mentally and physically lifting a new weight. So just like in the weight room, when you lift weights, your body gets tired, you rest, and then your body recuperates over time. It's the same thing. Start, learn along the process, and allow yourself to lift that weight. Lift this entrepreneurial weight, because once you get it over your head, but don't let the start stop you. Continue to go, continue to create momentum, continue to be in motion on a regular basis.
Absolutely. Now we just got a question that came in. She said, can you talk a bit about automating prospecting and lead systems? And yes, I definitely can share a few words about that. And then Dre, I'll let you share a few words as well. Okay. And JC, I'm not sure what type of business that you have, but I'm just going to say this. Your lead system, again, that's what attracts people to you. And just to use an example, I would say you have a digital product, for instance. I won't use that one, but any type of digital product that someone can get via texting a word to you, that's a system, a text system, or via opting into a link that you share on social media that says, hey, if you'd like more information about this, they can download some type of digital product that can either be a PDF, it can be a book, an ebook, it can be an audio series, it can be a video or a video series. Whatever it is, it gives someone more information about something they want to know about, or at least starts to solve a problem that they're having, and that attracts you. Now, in the online world, a lot of times we have people, they have likes, and people get excited about how many people like something that they post, or they have people who follow them. Those are leads. Those are people who are interested in you. They're interested in your message, your mission, and whatever you may be offering. At that point, they're considered a lead. They haven't taken any specific action or responded to a call to action that you gave them. So they're still a lead at that point. But the lead system is designed to attract. Once you've attracted them, that's when you give them some type of call to action in the digital world. When they take action and they actually do it, they become a prospect. They've proven or shown to you by their actions that they are interested on a deeper level in what you have to offer. So at that point, they become a prospect, and you want to nurture them. We nurture leads every day, by sharing content, by educating, by inspiring. All of those are things that attract people to us and actually keep them around us in our stratosphere. The communication that we talked about. Once they actually take an action and they actually, we do these things called call to actions. Once they do that, they become a prospect and they become a bit more valuable. And that's when we want to definitely automate or have a system in place that allows them to, number one, get immediate access to whatever it is that you promised. And you also want to communicate with them so they can learn more about you beyond the inspiration, the free content that you put out there, so they can learn more about you, more about what you offer, more about what things you may have coming up. You may have an event coming up, a virtual event. You may have a live event. That's when they actually get into your system and they're actually able to get to know you better, and you able to get to know them better as well by offering them opportunities to connect with you. But all of that can be automated so that you're not dealing with each and every person like one-on-one trying to figure out. Once your system's options in that automation, they're going to let you know what they want and what they need. Okay? But it has to be in an automated fashion for you to attract the number of people that you're actually capable of attracting in the digital place, again, which is a global place, and you're open to way more people than you could ever be open to face-to-face. So, okay, so they need to show interest, lead. Then a prospect, you start nurturing a relationship. Absolutely, because the prospect has taken an action that you have offered to them, and you definitely want to nurture that relationship. You are so welcome, JC. Do you want to say anything about that? Dre, her original question, talk a bit about automating prospecting lead systems.
Right. I think you nailed it right on the head. Just be really clear, JC, on where you want to take them. So that they buy something. So I always start with reverse engineering. So, okay, this is my end result. This is what I want to lead this person to. And then the next step, like say, for instance, my coaching, I'll just give you an example for my coaching. So the end result is I want them to end up joining me in my coaching program. So at the beginning, I have a free offer that attracts the lead. Then after I attract the lead with a free offer, then I have a lower offer. In the digital world, we call it like a tripwire. It's usually an offer between $7 and $27. Once they take that action and they've invested, now they're a prospect. They've taken that action. And not only are they a prospect, but they're a buying prospect. And then my prospecting, once they purchase that product, then I get them on a survey and I actually talk to them. So the best thing to say, because Aisha really nailed it, is understand where you want to take them and then reverse engineer from that. And once they're a lead on, your prospects are going to get most of your attention, but don't forget, especially if you own a list, which you should, and especially if you're following up, which you should, even your leads are going to start to build a relationship because they're on your email list. So as you send them more information and as they build a relationship with you, they too can become a prospect. And that's the joy of running the business the way we run business.
Okay, great point, Dre. Thank you so much. You definitely want to know what that end result is going to be. That's definitely helpful. So yes, it's so much more that we can share, but for right now, that is definitely enough to get us started. So just a quick recap. Key number 1 to unlocking your online income: expertise. You want to have expertise. You also want to surround yourself with expertise and in your particular field. And another I'd guess say another key to the expertise and nurturing your expertise in a particular field: be connected with other experts in your field. That's very, very important. Develop relationships with people who do what you do, and have those relationships, because there will be a check and balance there. You know, one of the first things I did when I wrote the draft to my book, my book about digital marketing, I sent it to a mentor who's in my industry. He does the same thing that I do, but on a different level. And that's the first person I sent it to, someone who's in my industry, who's been doing what I do longer than me, and who can check and balance me.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to have those relationships with people who do what you do. Don't be out there by yourself in a particular industry thinking that it's okay. You have to have those relationships. You have to have those connections. And so expertise. You need to be an expert at something. That's your first key. Number two, you want to have content. You want to have content that proves your expertise, that actually, what's the other word I want to say? That sustains your expertise. Okay, so there are different ways to have content. You can develop it yourself. You don't always have to develop it yourself, depending on what industry you're in. It just needs to support whatever expertise that you have, i.e. experience. That's what I consider expertise. What do you have experience in? What do you have a backstory about? What transformation have you experienced that you can help someone else with? Expertise. Content backs that expertise, and we have to get comfortable sharing that on a regular basis. And we have several mediums to share content: video, audio, written content, so many different mediums. Social media is so many different mediums to do content. Third key, foundation. You want to have a solid foundation that you own and are capable of operating, or capable of paying someone else to operate for you. Ownership is very, very important when it comes to people who are interested in what you offer, people who are interested in your mission, people who are interested in your message. You want to own your contacts, you want to own your communication with them, and you want to go beyond social media. Very, very important. And you want to have that digital foundation that you need. You want to have those 13 key components that I talk about in my book. All right. Key number 4 is systems. You need to know what these systems are. You got to have of course, your daily operating system, your operating system. But when it comes to having an online business, you need to have a lead system. You need to have a prospecting system. You need to have a delivery system. You need to have a revenue system, revenue generating system. You need to have follow-up systems. You need to have relationship maintenance systems. And you need to make sure that they're functional. I can't tell you how many, well, I won't get into that, but systems are very, very important. I like that analogy. We got a lot of systems in our bodies, and they all work together to produce a healthy, functional human being. And it's the same with your online business. You're going to have systems that you need in place to produce and unlock your online income. Key number 5, automation. That's the whole point of having an online business and making use of this technology that we have at our disposal. You want to automate these systems. You want to automate these processes so that you can, what's that term? You can become one of these entrepreneurs that produce beach money. They have put in the work. They built the foundations. They built the systems. They put in the work. And now they're at a point where all the systems are running well. Everything is smooth sailing. And it's automated, so now they can go and enjoy the fruits of their labor by spending more time with their family, spending more time doing things that they enjoy doing, spending more time taking better care of themselves, spending more time living a life. They put in the work to be able to do that. But that's the whole point of automation. Yeah, that thing called beach money. All right, Trey, what you got to say?
I love that beach money. I mean, that's really, guys, just remember the don't let this stop and go through the process. Go through the process. Sometimes, I mean, I could sit here and talk longer, but there's no need for that. Just understand that it's a process. Understand that you have to start, and every day you have to start. Every day you have to restart yourself. Every day you have to find the motive, the reason why you want to get these things done, and just grind it out every single day. I know that you can do it.
Yeah.
And you know that you go ahead and get it done.
Yeah. All right. So I'm just gonna wrap this up. JC, if you're still out there, I would love to connect with you one-on-one. I'm not sure who JC is. I don't know if that's someone that you know, Dre, but I would love to connect with you so let's connect on social media. You can join my Facebook group. It's called successblueprintslive.com. I put the link right there in for you. You can just click on it and join my group. I would love to support you in your process. She made a comment that, or he made a comment that they were feeling overwhelmed with getting started and they needed to narrow down their focus because they were getting overwhelmed. And I just joined. Oh, awesome. Okay, cool. All right, JC. So we'll connect. And I can learn more about what you do, and we can figure out if, I can help you get any of those things accomplished. Narrowing down your focus. I'm glad he or she brought that up. That's really important. And that goes back to your expertise. Whatever your expertise is, stay in your lane. Stay narrow. It's a lot of stuff. We get out here, learn, and people get out here, learn something and say, oh, I'm an expert at this now, and I teach you this. Stay in your lane. And sometimes it's hard because it's like, but I know so much. Stay in your lane. That's the only way you're going to be able to dominate. Stay in your lane.
Bingo.
Keeping it narrow is a good thing. Keep it narrow. All right? So with that being said, Dre, do you have anything else to say?
I don't.
All right. I am going to, we went over our time a bit, but I'm going to wrap this up. And I want to thank you again for joining us. If you're watching the replay, kudos to you. Got some good information. And just one last recap. Your first key to unlocking your online income, expertise. You need to have an expertise at something. All right? And it could be something you've been doing your entire life. You're an expert at it. You can solve a problem for someone else. That puts you in an excellent position to have an online business that can generate money for you. The second thing is content. You need to have content relevant to your expertise that educates people about why they need your particular product or service. Number 3 is, what is 3, Dre? It's not system.
Foundation.
Foundation. Yeah, you definitely need to have a solid digital infrastructure and foundation. And you need to be in relationship to know what that is and the different the components that you need. Another resource, again, my book, my Amazon bestseller, Wealth Through Automation, your step-by-step guide to creating a lucrative and online business. I share with you 13 key components that you need to know and understand in order to have a solid foundation for your online business. Key number 4 is systems. You need to understand the systems that you're going to need and have in place in order to run a smooth online business and unlock that income. And also, our last and final key is automation. That's the whole point to all of this. Be able to automate it to decrease your labor over time. That's the beauty of having an online business. Gives you more freedom, to live life. But again, you got to put in the work in the beginning so that you can get to that point. All right? And surround yourself with people who have common goals and same interests who can help you get there together. We're a movement. People are following movements now, okay? So if you are interested in this online world, want to learn more about the online world, you want to get all of that money that's being generated. I just posted an image the other day about how much China's in the lead, but the U.S. is number 2 as far as the it's billions. I can't remember, but it's an image I posted recently on social media about how much money is being made in e-commerce. It will never compare to the money that we make just on our own, going out there, trading our time for dollars. Get in the game. That's all I have to say. And I want to thank you for watching this training, 5 Keys to Unlock Your Online Income. You're welcome to join my Facebook group, successblueprintslive.com. In the upcoming weeks, I will have weekly trainings to help you start building that digital infrastructure that you need. So to get that information and to learn how you can also get access to my amazing mentors, you want to be in that group, successblueprintslive.com. All right. So thank you again, Dre. Thank you so very much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure having you. And I did not pay him for any of the comments that he made. So thank you, Dre. And happy birthday, my dear. Happy birthday. And thank you for taking some time out of your schedule to actually share it with me. All right.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So with that being said, I want everyone to have an amazing rest of the week. And I will see you next week with another guest and another topic. Thank you.
Awesome.